Hello, everyone. Today we will have a conversation related with smart cities, with new technologies, AI, Internet of the Things. And it's here with me, Manuel. Welcome, Manuel. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here, Guillermo.
Yeah. There are a lot of new. There are a lot of new applications in this matter, and it's advancing in a pretty good way. So, do you have some cases, for example, in this matter of smart cities? For example, do you have these governments or industrial companies to improve in Internet of the Things?
Of course, like in Tuya Smart, we have a catalog, imagine, of 500,000 SKUs, no? It's
Okay.
really stunning that the amount of devices you can have, almost everything you can imagine. And most of the times, majority of the devices, you're able to use them in a smart home or in a small building. And if you have the correct communication protocols, you can have them outdoors in a smart city project, let's say. So of course we have them. The question is always how they will connect to internet. It can be Wi-Fi, it can be 4G, it can be Zigbee, it can be Bluetooth. So in the outdoors, in smart cities, you need most of the times 4G devices or some kind of protocols that will allow the devices out there in the streets to be connected to the clouds, right? So we have them, and we have a very interesting solution actually right now in Mexico, where you're able to protect entire cities, streets, commercial areas with cameras connected to the Wi-Fi of the users or through 4G to directly to the municipalities, right?
Yes. So and actually there are a lot of applications. The people, for example, when we interact with Alexa, for example, or with your smartwatch, you can do magic, and actually we can do that because there are artificial intelligence, and this is something that is improving the people's lives, right? When you have a place that you can put the light in, everything, it's you have some examples, for example, for sharing to the audience?
No, of course, like we always say, it's better to talk than to interact through the app, right? So all the devices like that we have for a smart home can be used now with Alexa, with Google Assistant. So you can literally arrive to your house. I saw it in a lot of apartments already when they are trying to sell you the apartment, where they say, turn on apartment or turn off apartment. And the curtain motors will turn on, turn off, the AC, the lighting, the vacuum cleaners, everything. So of course, we have all the user experience available through voice assistants.
Let's share the video and we continue, right?
Yes, sure. So in this video, you will see a lot of different devices. You were seeing like solar lamps that are Bluetooth, SOS buttons, sensors for doors, windows, gas sensors, water purifiers. There are air purifiers. These are the famous curtain motors, sirens that will interact with all these devices, PRs, gateways. The gateways will get the information from 30, 40 devices, saving a lot of internet. The AC controllers, cameras that are also solars. These are for smart cities, actually. These buttons that put in a public building to make the system get in, the security system. Or
Alexa, enciende showroom.
Here, I gave a voice command. I say, Alexa, turn on showroom. But the trick here is that the smart plug is called showroom. So once it's turned on, it will create the scenario where the lighting and the climatization, the fan, the AC will turn on. And the same to turn it off. Here is a security camera is following me, but it's following the same ecosystem.
Alexa, apaga showroom.
I say, Alexa, turn off showroom, apaga showroom. And it will turn off the fan. In another perspective,
Alexa, enciende showroom.
You see the same. It first turn on the AC, the fan, because it's turning on.
Alexa, apaga showroom.
And the same thing, it turned off the system when the fan turns off. But it could be a TV, it could be a light, the first device that will make the rest interact. Here you're seeing in the app how the security panels of the cameras looks like. These are cameras that are like balls that will follow your movement. And as I'm saying always, it can be in a house or it can be in a street or outside a government building. So here you have the smartwatch with Alexa included, even the water purifiers, because I want to show in the app how you will see different control panels for a water purifier, for an air purifier, for a sensor. Everything is different. It doesn't mean that in the same app it will be everything the same. All the panels will be according to the device. And here, for example, is a great example for Airbnb users, or it can be a public building. For the owner of the Airbnb, you will use the fingerprint, but for your client, you will give them a code. And if it's one client or two clients or a family, you will choose the app which devices will turn on. Here, just the lighting devices will turn on after the client enters to the space. The lamps, the bulbs of the space, the wall switch, but you can choose to turn on the TV or the AC if they are coming with kids, for example, right? So it's just to give an idea of all the things that you can do with all these 500,000 of devices. Imagine, like, the possibilities are infinite almost.
Yes. And actually, for example, I remember some years ago when some Occidental governments, they criticized China, remember? That they put a lot of cameras in the streets, and this is something to that you are checking everything. But yes, come on, it is a good practice, because you can reduce the delinquents. You can control. Right now, there are in some cities like Sofia in Europe, that they have the first city that is a digital twin. They can measure everything. So the possibilities are amazing. And I think that the other thing that is interesting is that you are offering more options for the market, right? Because most of these companies that right now use domotics and these kind of devices, sometimes it's not for all the people. Are sometimes a little bit the prices are higher, right?
They're not so friendly.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that one thing that we promote here in our institute is that compete, and the people, they have more options, because they can choose the best option. And I think that the possibilities as well, because in this week, the Global Artificial Intelligence Week, we have dozens of several experts that they show the new technologies, applications. And I think that there are, for example, opportunities with these wearables, that you can, for example, work with assurance industry. I mean, if you can measure everything in your house, for example, if you have an assurance in your house, this kind of cameras and everything, they can identify risk, right, with data.
Totally.
So it's just the beginning, Manuel, right? What do you think?
It's just the beginning, and it's a need, like what you were saying, like London and being one of the most one of the cities with more video surveillance cameras. So
yeah, but some years ago they criticized, and they are doing the same way. And I think that is sometimes we can change the way and try to improve for our citizens.
Totally. I want to say something, Guillermo, that like, it's about comfort, smart things. That's true. But it's also about security. It's also about sustainability. There is never going to be a way to surpass the capacity to the smart systems to serve energy, to not waste the energy of the ACs if there is no people, if the sensors don't detect anybody, if you program that some space will turn on with the doors. There is no way that you will forget to turn off a device that will consume energy. So it also becomes a sustainability matter. And as I'm saying, like, it's not anymore a trend or something that people will think that is fancy. It's more about really serving energy to really get information from the spaces where the people is in the houses or out there in the streets, and take better decisions with the information. That's all about the IoT.
Yeah, totally. I told you that several years ago we did a project with Osram, this a Germanic company of lighting and everything. And it is amazing because in the commercial areas, you can create several atmospheres and as well it's part of the customer experience, but it's the same in your house. You can create, a relaxed atmosphere. The party one that is really fancy with
Everything.
these domotics gadgets. So it is great to having you here in our festivals and work with you, because actually here in this part of the world, in Occident, we don't use a lot of technology, Manuel. We are
I know.
like
And it's
10 years
accessible. That's the
ago.
most important part. It's ready and accessible. It's not
Yeah,
expensive, it's not hard to use. It's just a matter to make it to get the people close to the technology. That's it.
yeah. And another question is how the people can contact you. Do you have some stores, or how is your business in order to the people contact you?
Well, in the case of me as a representative of Tuya here in Mexico, you have here my contacts. I will be more than happy to get the communication through LinkedIn, to phone, to an email. But as a brand here in Mexico, Guillermo, we don't have physical stores because Tuya is powering the device inside with the chips, right? With the
Yeah.
with the modules. So we're giving the communication protocol to the devices and the app we used, but the app can be branded by several partners that we have and the devices. So we have several companies here in Mexico already selling the devices. Actually, if you go to Amazon or any e-commerce and you write like Tuya Smart Lock, Tuya Bob, Tuya vacuum cleaner, you will find brands that have the devices. So as a brand, you will never see a hardware that is called Tuya, but you will see it branded by several partners. So believe me, it's very simple to find our offers in any mall in Mexico.
Yeah. Let's try to share this content with a lot of people. Actually, we here in our institute, we operate really internationally because we work with brands of Argentina, Spain, Colombia, US. So these products they can find in e-commerce, right? In Amazon or in Mercado
Yes,
Libre.
of course. Like 80 or 85% of the offering will be compatible with Tuya. That's what I'm always telling to everybody. Like the magic here is that the first app that you will use to connect the first device, you can continue adding devices from several other brands that will be working in the same app, even if the other devices are branded with other brands, because the software at the end is the same.
Yeah, let's share one recommendation. For example, there are several people that they want to create this domotic atmosphere. What do you recommend, for example, for the beginners? Well, they maybe the lights are what configuration that you can recommend for the beginners?
That's a great question. Let's think in a small hotel or in a small house, or someone that is starting their Airbnb business, or a small hospital, right? They can begin as simple as changing the bulbs from the lamps for smart ones, and the smart plugs where you have the fans or the cafeterias, and you will call the smart plug cafeteria, AC, fridge, like these devices to be used in the hair, these things to put hot air in the hair. That always people will waste a lot of energy in all these kind of devices, especially with the cafeterias. So you will call your smart plug cafeteria. You will leave the cafeteria on, and you will give the capability to start interacting with the cafeteria or with the TV with Alexa and with the smart bulb. So, for example, you will call lámpara de escritorio or bed lamp, and you can start with smart plugs and with bulbs in a very simple way, interacting with Alexa in your house, because you will say, Alexa, turn off bed lamp, Alexa, turn off or turn on microwave, and it will do it, because the device that is not smart is connected to a smart plug, or the device that is just a bulb, it's called as the area where they are. So this is super simple. It's for beginners, and the best is very cheap.
Yeah. Well, we are really happy that Tuya operate here in America. So thank you very much, Manuel. It was a really interesting conversation, and
thank you, Guillermo.
Thank you for your time.